Well, in the 2 years we've been doing this injury report, I have literally never seen what I'm going to talk to you about. This is the most fascinating thing I've seen in this time. The injury report for Georgia and Texas is out. Kind of a long list of Georgia players, most of whom you already knew about. But the two that are the most important here, of course, Josh Horton and Lawson Lucky, who took a pretty nasty shot on Saturday at Starkville. It was a targeting, appropriately called. Thankfully, Lawson is good. It did not look great. I could see that he was moving his extremities pretty quick, but still. That was not a great shot. And, the return of Josh Horton to be probable, as well as Lawson being probable. Jordan Hall out, Kyron Jones out, Taylor Taylor, Colby Young, Ethan Barber. That's been pretty common for Georgia. We knew that, all of those things. What we did not know was that the Texas Longhorns, number 10 team in the country, are going to come to Athens. They do not have a single player on the injury report. Like, that's amazing. I don't think I've ever seen that. I look at everybody's. So the injury report is a mandated report from the Southeastern Conference. And let me tell you how this works. I can only speak to how it works at Georgia. I don't know how it works at South Carolina or Vanderbilt or Kentucky or any place like that. But on Wednesday night, the Wednesday after your practice, the report is due by a particular time. And, for Georgia, that's, basically right after they practice. You get it from medical and you basically punch it into the SEC, and then the Southeastern Conference takes it from there. However, I have never seen this before where no Texas player is listed as injured. I mean, at first I thought, is this like a mistake or anything like that? Like, because the Gators got like 15 guys on there. But for Texas, they don't have anybody. I mean, it's amazing. I'm going to put the official report on the screen. Boom. None to report. That's crazy. I mean, we're deep into the season here, and there's no player from the opposing team. We're just as Georgia's last SEC game. I think Texas might have two more after this. I'm not totally sure. I know they have A&M, but that is astonishing that they don't have. No, they have 3 SEC games from right now on in to the playoff or the conclusion of their season, whatever bowl or situation Texas gets themselves into. They can still go to the Sugar Bowl as the SEC champion. They control their own destiny. The Texas Longhorns completely control their own destiny. Let Sales Hatch help you and your destiny in business. What they're going to do is they're going to connect you with the right people. You own your own small business. You're running your small business. You're working in it. You're working on it. Sales Hatch is going to use their Roswell-based team to get you connected to the right people for the right leads. Get in touch with Sales Hatch today. It's just amazing to me when you're on the field and you see, like, all tackles are not created equally. Some tackles don't look bad and they're way worse than they seem. Some tackles look like they're really hard hits. A lot of times it's the way you fall on the ground. You're talking about in a game of 140-ish plays counting special teams, you're looking at maybe 100 tackles, something like that, because sometimes guys, fall out of bounds or it's a fair catch or whatever. So 100 tackles, your team is tackling or getting tackled 100 times in a game. Just being generous, very back of the envelope numbers here. No one's getting hurt at all. Like, I mean, I don't know that people are tackling in practice right now. I think you got to kind of watch how much you're doing that. But let's just say you're tackling in practice. No one's getting hurt at all. Like, no sprains, no contusions, nothing. And I'm not a medical person. Hopefully, I used that correctly. There's a big difference between contusion and the other one. But that's kind of amazing to me. I was very surprised by that. I will be at Red Zone at 11 o'clock on Friday. I expect to see y'all there. I will not be there at 1 o'clock. I was scheduled with Scott and Minnie to go till 12:30. I know a lot of people watch this video. Make sure you're at Red Zone at 11 o'clock if you want to say hello, or don't. It doesn't matter. Just say hi. I can stop rambling for a little bit to say hello to people. The online audience knows me. They know that we talk to our buddies. We ran into somebody from Florida, Georgia fan, who's a subscriber who came up to Mississippi State game. So we talk with folks But I'll be at Red Zone on Friday, tomorrow, at 11 o'clock. And let me tell you, Red Zone is a place for you to be for your shopping. I'm going to do final feelings from Red Zone. So I'll probably be walking around doing that afterwards. So make sure that you're visiting Red Zone on Clayton Street downtown in Athens. Go to the Arch, go north 1 block, take a left, and you'll see the sign for Red Zone's 3 flags that are out there. I don't know what to make of this. Georgia's got some significant injuries, particularly at receiver. When you look at, you're missing Taylor. You're missing, Ethan Barber's not a, quote, receiver, but Colby Young, Barber, and Taylor, those are 3 receivers of the football. You also have Lawson Lucky. 2 of the people I just mentioned are starters. 3 of them were Barber, Young, and Lucky, or starter adjacent. Taylor could have had the game-winning catch against Alabama. So he's not nothing. But they're listed as completely out, and Lawson Lucky and Josh Horton are probable. And the fact that Texas doesn't have a single player listed, I mean, that is just something else to me. I don't know what to make of it. I've never seen that before. You can't make mistakes on this thing because there are fines associated with this. Penalties for inaccurate or late reports range from $25,000 to $100,000 for football, and for the other 2 sports that the injury reports are on, basketball and baseball, up to $15,000 and $25,000 for those. Of course, these are only conference games. So for basketball, that's not going to be out there for Georgia until right on top of New Year's. As it relates to baseball, we're talking about, what is that, late February, early March, kind of middle March? I can't remember when they start conference play. But the reporting requirements are, in quotes here, SEC school personnel must submit availability reports 3 days before each football game, with daily reports leading to a final report 90 minutes prior to game time. For basketball and baseball, reports are filed the night before the game with an update on game day. So the final injury report for Georgia-Texas is going to be about 45 minutes before Georgia takes the field. So kickoff's going to be about, I misspoke there. Before they take the field to warm up, we're going to kick at 7:45. You got 90 minutes. So you're looking at about 6:15. You will have the final injury report for both these schools. But it is amazing to me that Texas does not have a listed injury at all. A year ago when Georgia went over to Ole Miss, I think Lane listed like 30 people. So I'm not suggesting anything here at all, but it is just curious to me that Texas does not have a single player on there. It's gonna be a tougher game maybe than people want to realize. I do think Georgia has the capability to lose this game. I think they have the capability to win this game by 10 to 17 points. I think we're in that realm of possibility where sort of a lot could happen. We've seen the line dance around a little bit. I thought that Georgia would be about a 4.5 point favorite. They're sitting at 5 right now. 5.5. And it had been 6.5, but it's, I think 5.5 is about appropriate in my opinion. A lot of the sharps are still on Georgia. We're going to have our picks out tomorrow, as you know, but this a game, I don't feel that there's I don't detect amount of overwhelming stress coming out of this thing right now, personally. But that can be misleading as always. I remember talking to Claude Felton and really, just experiencing this myself. You can have bad. Claude, this longtime sports information director at Georgia. See, now it's jumped up to 6.5. Just as I say that. How about that? Yeah, the sharp better money has really evened out. We're at 50% for both. I might be undervaluing Georgia's ability to win this game slightly by talking, by suggesting it should be 5.5. I said 4.5 when we got in the car, but someone's probably someone. Yeah, it's the sort of consensus is 6.5. When I got in the car after state, I was like, yeah, I think it'll be anywhere from 4.5. I thought I said 4.5 to 5, but Ryan said that I said 4.5 to 6. But look, when you are in that situation where you are over a 4-point favorite, you really should win the game. So I'm expecting Georgia to win. I think they're the better team. I think the matchup for Texas is not the greatest on earth. And I think there's a lot of things and Texas really played well against Vanderbilt for 3 quarters. They played really well. But they lost the fourth quarter in a decisive way. You can't do that to Georgia. With Georgia, you're going to lose the game in that scenario. They weren't going to lose to Vanderbilt. Like this discussion of the onside kick and all that. Vandy still had to get down the field and work some magic. Can't do that without the ball, of course, and this, that, and the other. But you don't want to get too overhyped up about not getting about someone just missing an onside kick. There's still work to be done after that, but. It is concerning that Vandy scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. That's hard to do because you just run out of time after a while. I'll see y'all at Red Zone at 11 o'clock on Friday morning. Thanks for watching.